welcome back. We're the Couples Lounge. This is your boy, Mr. Newt Man himself, Remon Tuck, and my sexy chocolate Candace.
Hey y'all.
And we are the Couples Lounge, where we talk about marriage, love, relationships, and everything that falls under that umbrella. So we back this week, boo.
Y'all, my baby country.
What? What the?
Hey, country. Yes, we are back for another great and amazing show. Again, y'all, we authentic.
Huh?
We transparent. And we are doing this marriage thing alongside of God. And he has just called us to the ministry of being supportive and building up his union and helping the people. And so we have committed, we have said yes to God. And so,
Yes.
baby, show him your shirt. Show him your shirt.
Uh-uh.
His shirt said, I'm old, but what? But I still look good. Ooh,
Yo.
he's sexy, y'all. All right, so another amazing show. Make sure you
Got your feet
subscribe.
out again.
Make sure I'm gonna be comfortable this season, y'all. I'm just relaxed on this couch, being able to have. Let me tell you something. It is important to be able to have these type of conversations. That's another reason why I really love this show.
Okay.
Because we get to have real conversations and it don't feel so tense and
Man, my hair be getting in the way sometimes. Man, I just got a lot going on up there.
you just be present on the show.
Damn,
And
my hair be getting out.
oh my God, nobody.
I'm sorry. You said real conversations. I'm having real conversations. Sometimes your hair, we heard, we're like, man, dang.
Well, if you put it all back, put it behind
Put
you.
it back.
Yeah. That way you ain't got to do
Do
that.
I look crazy? Can you see
What
it?
they say you used to do? You do your hair like. So it's authentic conversations are healthy for your marriage, and so that's another reason why I have come to appreciate the Couples Lounge show, not only for the ministry and what we are actually doing, but it gives us an opportunity to have conversations. And shoot, I be learning things about him and his mindset on this show that I be like, I ain't even know that. Not being with you almost 30 years.
Like what?
Just certain things. I listen to everything.
I know.
I listen to everything.
I know.
You know.
Trust me.
You take in information. You take in data.
So if you didn't know that, fellas, your wife watches and listens to everything. She just dropped the jewel that some guys might not be aware of.
Yeah.
Trust me. If you on the phone hollering at your partners or your cousins, she might not be listening, but she listening. She ain't listening, but she listening. And sometimes they listening and listening. Just pay attention. I promise you. Go ahead. That was a jewel for somebody.
It really was. Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. So you gonna hear something today, like that jewel he just dropped.
Oh,
And it's going to be like, oh, yeah, I rocks with the Tucks. Make sure you subscribe. You going to hear something that say, oh, yeah, I can use this in my relationship. Subscribe. Or
Yeah,
you going to
man.
hear something that is transformative for you individually. You going to feel like, nah, I think somebody else needs to know that. You going to subscribe and share.
So
All
go
right?
to YouTube.
You already on
search the
YouTube.
Couples Lounge page and hit the subscribe button.
Baby, YouTube is our main place.
Yeah, I know. You right.
So they want to go to Facebook or Instagram and make
Yeah.
sure they like and follow
Okay.
there.
Yeah, maybe I am
All right.
country. Okay,
That's
I'm sorry.
okay. That's okay. So I saw a post. It's been months back, probably last year. I don't know when I saw it.
Okay.
But it was Dr. Dre's post of, he had some balloons that said divorced AF. He was sitting in a chair,
Right.
shinning and grinning.
Right. You don't like the what's the divorce parties?
I did
Is
not.
that what they call it?
Yeah, I didn't
Divorce
like
parties?
that post either.
But you don't like divorce parties.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And so your perspective, because we talked about this a little bit, and we do not feel the same or think
No.
the same on this.
I
So
hate that any marriage ends. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
happy, if a marriage ends. But I could understand some people celebrating a divorce, and here's why I say that. because you may have literally married the wrong person. You may have tried to make something permanent that God really just made seasonal for you. So if you try to make something permanent that God only put in your life for a particular season, for a particular reason, our hell broke loose, and then you separated from it or ending that, and you're happy. But it wasn't God's intention for you to marry this man or marry this woman. So celebrating divorce, I'm not going to say is good, but
You said you didn't have a problem with that.
I don't. I'm saying I mean by celebrating a divorce, I'm not happy that marriage ended. So I'm not. So I'm like, yeah, hey, anytime somebody get a divorce, yeah, celebrate it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you know that, and this ain't something I should have done, you know, and you or was in an abusive relationship, a marriage, and you getting out. I don't have a problem with it. Like this man was on his deathbed, and he talking about his wife wasn't there.
But it, okay,
You know,
okay,
so.
and I guess for me, what came up for me when I saw that was like those type of posts, the divorce party type of celebrations for me.
Right.
This is my opinion.
Right.
Is that one, you're celebrating this union of God, but on the I don't want to say but the other side of that is those things to me it feels like you are blaming the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so happy to be away from you because you were so bad, but you took part in the breakdown in that marriage. You took part in the demise of that marriage. However it may, and once we get into the show, you will see what I'm saying. But it comes off as I'm away from you. Like you was the reason I was unhappy. You was the reason that we couldn't make it. You was you and you're blaming the other person.
Right.
And so for me it's I think but the biggest part is cuz let me get back. When I saw Dr. Dre's post, I was like divorced AF. But on the side of that, get you a little stencil, the little thing that they be having up, and put all the stuff that you did wrong or you did in the marriage. Put your stuff, because you basically, for me, those posts make it about the other person. Like, I'm like, they were the issue.
Did he say? But he didn't say that, though.
No, I just said for me. That's what when you having a divorce party, you ain't having no divorce party because, oh, I was cheating, or oh, I wasn't submissive to him, or oh, I was out in these streets and now I get. You ain't having no divorce party because of the stuff you did.
Well, that's true.
You ain't having no divorce party for that. You ain't celebrating what you did.
Yeah.
Or did not do in the marriage.
I didn't view it that way. I didn't look at it that way. Yeah.
And mostly at those parties, I've only been to one, but I had to change. I had to make sure I wasn't going to celebrate the divorce.
And Dr. Dre is the only guy that I know who has ever done one.
You probably don't know nobody in real life.
Yeah,
I mean,
nah.
in your
no,
it's mostly a woman's thing.
Yeah,
it's mostly a woman's thing.
Because that was my thought. Do men really do stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure brothers have or men have, but every time I've seen it, it's a woman doing it.
Mm-hmm. And his may look different, the divorce, but we're going to go out and celebrate tonight. It may not be a divorce party, but you're going to go celebrate. You're going to go to the clubs, or y'all going to go cigar. You're going to go. It might look different, but you haven't never participated in it.
I've
never
heard of any guy doing that.
And so, yeah, I just feel like it's like you are, when you think of marriage as God's union, like you like, I'm so happy to be out of, like, that's how I carry it. That's why this won't be our truth as long as you don't do nothing sideways. I would never, I would never have a divorce party.
Never. Let's say I did something sideways.
No, I would not have a divorce party because my marriage a beautiful union, something God created has now ended.
No,
And I would not celebrate that.
I would
I don't.
even if you did something. I'm not celebrating the
Yeah.
end of my marriage. Even if I was happy that I can't even picture it. Only way I would be happy if we ended if you just did some man. You did some just foul stuff.
But I
And
mean,
then
we've
I'd
been
even
together
wouldn't be
so
happy.
long.
And then again, I wouldn't even be happy.
Yeah,
then
because it'd be like jacked up that you would do this after we've been married for this long.
Yeah. Now, there's no way this ends and I'm not devastated.
Right.
Truly, 30 years of being together, 23 years of marriage, and yeah, I'm jacked off.
Yeah.
I'm jacked off for a minute. Wait, man, I messed up. Yeah, that sounded bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, y'all. I promise I did. I did. Yo, shit, hello. Can we rewind that? We ain't gonna end it. We're gonna leave. But yeah, I messed up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is hard.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I'm gonna be doing plenty of that for a while. Because I'm gonna be so messed up, I don't even want to look at another one. But I would be messed up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Those who are new, I am sorry. No, I'm not. I ain't sorry. I didn't mean it like that, though. I could be honest.
Because you said it the first time, I was like, wait, that's right. You said it again.
I didn't mean it in that context.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm just messed up.
This is why I love him. So, let's talk about when people think they have married the wrong person. And you mentioned that in the opening, making something permanent. When people say I've married the wrong person,
right.
like my thing is, what made you think that? Like right now, did you not have any flags? Any what
you
was it?
Overlooked them. You could overlook them, and I think when you get older people, older single people, I would say women in general, more women than men, get lonely. When you be lonely for so long, you're willing to settle and get in a relationship because there are so many single women who truly desire to be married and want to be married. There are brothers who are single that wouldn't mind being married, but they're not just praying to God that they get married in general. Where I believe a lot of women that are single and of age truly desire a lifelong relationship, which more than likely is a marriage.
And so you're looking over.
Definitely overlook. When you've been single for so long, man, you overlook red flags the moment the man gives you attention if they're not careful. Every woman is not doing this. Every single older woman is not doing this. If that woman is not careful and truly knows herself, values, know her self-value, and secure within herself and secure within being single, secure in being single and don't feel, I think a lot of women feel depressed that they're single.
Because we're not meant to be alone. As people, you are, as God did not make us to be alone. So to go home every day and you have nobody, you know what I'm saying? It's not how we are created to be.
And two, I think it becomes harder for a single woman of a certain age than it does for a man.
And I would say, I agree.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think and that makes it harder for her to find a man because I think older men look a lot of times for young, maybe not Shannon Sharp young, but look for a younger woman, and just they're not looking. I'm 48. I don't think 48, 50-year-old men are looking for 50-year-old women. They might look for a 40-year-old
He ain't
woman.
wise. If he was wise,
he's looking for a 40-year-old or 35-year-old woman, not 50.
Okay.
More than likely. That's just my opinion.
And and so that's one group of people. Yeah. But I married the wrong person can come present even for those that wasn't our truth before we got married. Like, I literally loved you and I didn't see that. And we began to think that this ain't the right person because the marriage isn't going the way we thought it was going to go. We didn't assume we was going to have to deal with trust issues, or we didn't assume we was going to have to deal with betrayal, or we didn't have to assume that her mouth was going to become like a sword. We just didn't assume that, so it begins to make you question. I didn't know I was
going to lose my job, and we was going to lose the house.
Yeah.
We was going to, car was going to get repossessed. And, you know, we was going to go through that. And then
what those experiences bring up out of somebody, and have y'all sometimes it's in those processes it's challenging to recover.
Yeah. And you can and even if you recover from it, you can easily be triggered by something that was traumatic.
Yeah.
When something is brought up and mentioned and discussed, and it'll take you back to when it will. Yeah. It can.
Yeah. If you allow it. Yeah. If you allow it. Yeah. And so you can be in those situations questioning, did I marry the right person? Like, I thought this was the person. I think I have, if I'm being transparent, like that popped in my head once, but I knew it reminded me of what you said about Philip Anthony Mitchell, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, and the enemy whispering in his friend having a dream, and they're saying, okay, it was the spirit whispering in your ear, whispering in your wife's ear. Like, that could be a true thing. And, you know, in that moment, I was like, girl, please, God have showed you time and time again that this is your husband. You married the right person. Just right now in this moment, it ain't going how you thought it was going to go, or you ain't getting what you want. So
now when you read the word of God and get closer to God, you truly realize spiritual warfare is real.
Yeah. Yes.
But
absolutely.
But I don't think some people truly grasp that.
Because it's a lot of people not in the word and don't have a relationship with God.
That's real. That is so real.
Yeah. And you're thinking it's about your spouse.
Yes.
That's what it says. It's not flesh and blood. This ain't no human thing going on right now. And if y'all go back and listen to our last week's show, it will give you some perspective as to what we're talking about on today. It's some things that are happening for you, but because of your light and you choosing to be married, it's power that comes with a marriage. It's power when that 3 cards, us and God. That's a strongness. When you raising kids that knows what love looks like, and you're building legacy and wealth together. Yeah, like if that was on and we are connected and as one, do you realize the generational value that comes from a healthy marriage? So the enemy is on this job. So in your thought of, did I marry the wrong person?
Yes.
You got to be really, really conscious of your thoughts, because your thoughts are things, and our thoughts will make us start seeing things that are not the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. We can get so fixated with our thoughts, and it's like we can begin to make up stuff that is not true. So I want to say why this show is really, really important to me. Thinking you done married the wrong person, because that brings an energy with it. If I'm sitting here every day thinking, I shouldn't have married you. I shouldn't have married you. I done married the wrong person. Do you realize that even if you ain't saying it to your spouse, they are going to feel the energy that comes with that. Yeah. And so I say this. Okay. It is dangerous to think or to have the thought that your spouse is the sole problem in the relationship. It's a dangerous thought to see your part in situations.
Golly.
It's dangerous to focus on their wrongs more than their good. That's dangerous.
Girl.
And maybe they have changed. The person has changed because of the actions that you have displayed in the marriage. So,
man, you just, girl,
speak.
you spoke some real stuff. Because the first one, it is dangerous to think that your spouse is the sole reason for
sole problem in the relationship.
Man, that's huge in itself. So many people in a relationship, but we'll speak of a marriage, are only speaking on or thinking about what their spouse, what their husband, what their wife is doing. She doing this. She ain't doing this. He or she may not be. But what the hell are you doing? You're telling me you're perfect. You're just, holier than thou. And it's so easy to get focused on them. So easy. So easy.
Ego.
Okay. But not truly realizing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What I have done. And the other part, and I think a lot of people are numb to this fact. What I have done or what I am receiving from my wife or from your husband may be residue from what you have done. I don't think people get that. The attitude, the lack of love, the lack of attention, the lack of emotional availability, if you will, you have no idea of you receiving that because of what you possibly have put out.
Yeah.
Not saying it's right. Please don't misinterpret that. I'm not saying if she responding to me in a negative manner because of what I'm doing, what I have done is right. No, it is not.
Right.
But I have to be understanding. Dang, she ain't loving because I'm so mean. Yeah. I'm not loving. She's not emotionally available because I haven't been. I'm getting what I put out. And I don't think a lot of people truly grasp that.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people grasp that.
Yeah.
There's a cause and effect. That cause and effect is very real in
that
all
is a
walks
spiritual
of
law.
life.
Yeah.
In all walks of life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Ooh. That was a whole word. So you should be subscribing off of that right there. Then I tell you was gonna hear something throughout the show. Yeah. You should be subscribing off of that right there. So let's change the mindset. Let's just think for this show you didn't marry the wrong person.
Okay.
You're absolutely with the right person.
Okay.
The person that is going to support you in changing and healing and becoming. And because some of the stuff that we go through, so I mentioned before, but like if this person is, go ahead.
And I don't think some people get this. You thinking you married the wrong person. But what about this question? Are you at that particular moment ready for marriage yourself?
Were you ready?
Were you ready? So you're saying you married the wrong person, but were you truly ready to be a husband or a wife? Are you portraying or showing and being that of a wife, that of a husband? Because if you're not ready and you're not showing that, it's easy to say, see, she ain't, man, Candace ain't, man, she ain't cooking, she ain't do. But Remon, you wasn't ready to be a husband. Look what you doing. Candace is looking at me, but was you ready to truly be a wife? I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it one more time. 1,000,001. One of my favorite quotes that can be used in all aspects of life. former Olympic bodybuilder, Mr. Olympia, Ron Coleman, said, everybody want to be, all these dudes want to be big, but nobody want to lift no heavy ass weights. You want to be a wife. You want to be, all these women want to be a wife, but don't nobody want to do all the things that a godly woman or a wife should do.
And some people just want to be married.
Right.
You want to be married, but you don't even realize what it goes back. It's a difference between a man-made marriage and a spiritual unity. A spiritual marriage is two different things. Two different things. And so, yeah, it's something that comes with being married, being a wife, being a husband.
Yeah.
And
because it ain't about just Remon now, it's about Candace. It ain't just about how does Remon feel about this? I have to look at how does my wife feel? How is it gonna make her feel?
Yeah.
Is she gonna like when I want to go or do something? If my wife, is she gonna want? All that comes into play now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you just saying that, like, some people may feel like I don't want to do that. That's why I ain't getting married, or I don't want to be asking people this, that, and the other. But that is all a part of life. You know what I'm saying? It's having somebody that holds you accountable.
Yeah.
It has somebody that actually, if you look at it this way, you telling your wife where you going, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, you got somebody who know where you at. Because there's some people that die and they be dead for weeks and don't nobody know. And they done died alone, or because ain't nobody been looking out for them. Ain't nobody knew where they were, this, that, and the other. So if we can change how we looking at stuff that looks so bad, and I don't want to do that, and I want to be out here. If you reframe how you looking at a thing, you will experience it totally different. And so we have to be mindful of blaming somebody for a marriage that we helped create.
Ooh, whoa, woman. Now that's a Jew.
Blaming somebody for a marriage that we helped create, and you helped create it. And I mean, in this way, were there times when you should have spoke up and you didn't? Were there times when you should have had a boundary and you didn't? Were there times when God said, go give him a hug, go give her a hug, but because you were stubborn, because you was in your feelings and your emotions, you told God, no, I ain't doing that.
Honestly, at this moment, God said, give me a kiss.
Okay.
Give me a kiss. One more.
He didn't. He didn't give that to me, but
I'll
be obedient to what you say.
Okay.
And so it's like,
he said something else too.
How did we?
After the show.
Oh God, how did I participate in creating this instead of blaming them and that they the wrong person? So we just gotta be really, 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 really mindful of that. Oh, other things that I put in how we have created a broken marriage. Accepting things that were out of alignment with a spiritual union. You accepted it because you wanted love. You accepted it because you didn't want to be lonely. You accepted it because you thought that they will respond this way. And then once it became a pattern, now that you shouldn't have married them. You accepted it.
I sure did.
You accepted fighting fire with fire. Oh, you gonna act like that? I act like that too. You participated in the breakdown of the marriage.
Right. You accepted her not cooking on a regular basis. Don't accept that, God. Young king. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm thinking out loud. Go ahead, baby.
Or you chose to cook and and then once she got in a rhythm of you cooking, then you have an issue that, what's up? You ain't Yeah, so
that's true. That is true.
Cheating, lying, and betraying the union, and a lack of forgiveness. Oh my God, do you not, y'all? We gotta really grasp how a lack of forgiveness will destroy. It's gonna destroy you internally. Bump your marriage, bump the other relationship.
We spoke on that last week about
unforgiveness
giving grace. You got to.
It's eating you up on the inside. Absolutely. Because when you don't forgive people, your heart do get hardened. And you start acting a certain way, and you start being a certain way, and it becomes like a consistency. And it's like the more that you do it, the harder your heart gets, the more you in protective mode.
And here's the key. When you forgive a person, let's say I forgive my wife for beating me. Nah, that's not as bad.
What?
Yeah, that's a bad example.
Y'all start praying.
Yeah, I don't
start praying.
I assure you, I won't be that guy. That was just a bad example. I'm sorry.
Pray for it right now.
Let's say you forgive for
but the reality of it is some men that are in abusive relationships. Trust and believe. It ain't just women out here. It's some
just whatever you forgive a person for, whatever you forgave them for, you don't use it as a weapon. If you have forgave them, I'm not using it as a weapon to use against them for later on. If I forgave you for coming home late, coming home late again, don't you be doing that. I never forgave you then if I'm using it as a weapon.
Using it as a weapon, that is the key. That you bring it up
why are you bringing it up?
Because sometimes when the behavior is it hasn't changed and you're continuing to do it.
Yeah. I'm not talking about
then,
that. Yeah. That's not
a
weapon.
Point of reference. That's what I said.
If they continue the same behavior,
you can use it as a point of reference.
Yeah, it's not a weapon at that point.
Yeah,
it's a weapon if that person, he or she, is no longer doing whatever that action was or saying whatever. Will say if they're no longer doing that, but you're bringing it up, now you're using it as a weapon.
Yeah.
If you see I am no longer doing X, Y, Z, but yet you keep bringing it up periodically at key moments. No, you was triggered by something, but I'm not. If I'm no longer doing that, it's just a weapon. Now it's a weapon.
And don't try to get slippery with the whole why you bringing it up. Nah, I was just trying to give you an example. People can feel when that energy ain't right. And when you are bringing it up on some, you trying to throw hot ones or you trying to do this. They can feel that. But this is the great thing about life and awareness. That is a big, big word that I will say today. Awareness, acknowledgement, and acceptance. When you realize that you are still bringing up something that you thought you forgave, just understand this is another part of the process of forgiving. Because I believe that I know that there's been times that I have thought I forgave you or thought I forgave somebody else. And then when I saw them, these emotions came back up. And then I went back to like this look like, no, you ain't forgave yet. You still that energy right there that's following that, or that situation come back up, and I feel this negative energy still attached to it and emotions, and now I've given myself permission to acknowledge, I still got work to do in this area because healing is unfolding. Things that I've thought I had gotten past, it come up in a different way. Like a situation, I was like, nah, I forgave that situation. But another aspect of it came up, and it was like, ooh, that brought up an emotion right there that made me cry. And it was like, ooh, I still got some more forgiveness to do. And so I can be gentle with myself.
Right.
And that's why it's also so important to do your own individual work, whether it's counseling, whether it's a life coach, whether it's reading, whatever the case may be, because when you become a certain thing for yourself and have awarenesses and stuff, you can now extend that. I understand that I'm imperfect. So now I can have grace and mercy with him.
Right.
Because I can understand, oh, when he moving like that, oh, he don't know.
Right.
Just like I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know myself, and it caused me to act like this. He don't know who he really is in that area, so it's causing me. So now that I'm aware, I can speak to the highest part of my husband. I can speak to his God self. I can speak and call that up versus allowing me to talk down and be get resentful and carrying all that. No. Because I see now, because I see me, I can see him and I can call him up.
Right.
You know, and so yeah, it's very, very important. This is about being mindful of thinking you married the wrong person. So you want to tell them about the marriage retreat? It's on you.
No, the marriage retreat.
Yes. You said no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said I'm country. We'll do it together. The marriage retreat is October 30th through November the 2nd. We got more available seats, spots, if you will. It is a awesome time. I think, excuse me, some people have a misunderstanding about marriage retreats.
Break it down.
Some people may think, okay, a marriage retreat you only go to if you're on the brink of divorce. Sometimes it is simply just reconnecting. It's just simply getting the oil change. Your car is running fine, but you still got to get an oil change. It doesn't mean your car is breaking down because you're getting an oil change. It's to keep it working fine, to keep the marriage juices, spices going. So it is a awesome time with like-minded couples who want to keep their union going, who want to spice it up even more, to just reconnect with other couples to realize, okay, we've overcome that too. Oh, okay, we was going through that too. Oh, okay, just getting new, better communication skills, if you will, and just, again, bonding with your spouse. Baby, tell the people where it's at.
It's in Belton, Texas at Summers Mill Retreat Center. And I want to make this real clear about this retreat. It is a spiritual marriage retreat. If you got married up under with a spiritual perspective that your marriage will be like this, that's what this is for. But it's also for those that got married and you've been having some man-made mindsets. Yeah. This is really us not only are you doing this retreat with your spouse, but you're doing it with God. So expect to experience God at this retreat for yourself.
And it's also for engaged couples. Mm-hmm. If you are engaged and seriously dating that are considering marriage, if you're considering marriage, this is someone that I can be married to, or I'm thinking about getting married to. We have opened it up for you as well.
Okay. So back to the program. I think I married the wrong person. So I'm going to tell you this, because the moment you start getting in that mindset and sitting in that mindset, divorce is on its way. Ooh. You're already thinking, if you think you done married the wrong person, you done thought about divorce at some point. Right. Again, holding those type of mindsets, it'll get you there quicker by thinking you want to leave. So instead of holding that I married the wrong person, I would offer you this. Keep getting to know, I said them on my paper. I'm going to keep it with them. Keep getting to know. Like, we got to keep really getting to know each other. Right. And in our getting to know each other, having some vulnerable conversations. Like, let's talk about the hard stuff. Right. And you might have some emotions that come up behind it, but we got to really try to understand each other hard. Like, babe, what would make you do that? Right. What were you thinking at the time? And sometimes on the onset, people may feel like, I don't know what I'm thinking. But if you sit and talk it out, you will get the answer. Right. And so that will be one of the things that I would say. Okay. Instead of getting the divorce, be willing to change your mindset. Right. And so one thing I'm going to say is get to know your spouse differently, what would you say? If I'm thinking I married the wrong person, what do I need to do to not go down the aisle of divorce or the street of divorce?
Again, I kind of pick it back off of you to self-reflect, look deep within yourself, and analyze yourself in that equation.
Yeah.
And that in this math equation that's we're calling marriage, you're a part of it. What part are you playing in it? What part are you contributing to possibly the demise or the issues in that marriage? That's first and foremost. Second, well, that's I would say second. First and foremost, bring it to God in prayer. Ask God to reveal what problems or what is the issue.
Yes.
Ask Him. It's amazing how, and also let me rephrase that. Be careful.
Don't be careful.
Now let me rephrase it. Let me be honest. Be careful what you bring to God and ask Him to reveal, because He may just very well do that. And if He does it, are you able to handle it? So bring it to God and self-reflect and analyze, what am I doing to contribute to it, and what can I do to help fix the situation? That is the top three things. What, bring it to God, analyze what am I doing that's possibly contributing to the situation. Third, what can I do possibly to help fix the situation? Have you exhausted all avenues to help fix this problem? Fourth, seek professional help.
Yep. We offer it.
Get counseling. Get marriage counseling. It is okay to go to a marriage counseling session. Try to find one that suits you and your spouse. If you feel you need a duo of man and wife, great, we can help. If you're looking for just a woman or a man, find someone to help to help try to see what the problem is, and to equip you guys with the tools to fix it yourself.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And I would say something that came up while you was talking, babe, is forgiveness. Not only do you have to give forgiveness to your spouse, but you got to give forgiveness to yourself. And how does that look? Sometimes I've had to, in the past, one way that I have not only forgiven you, but I had to forgive myself for accepting things that I knew that was out of alignment, accepting things that didn't feel good to me, and I didn't speak on it. Forgive myself for not speaking up when I saw certain things. Forgive myself for not going to God when I should have went to God. Forgive myself for not living in my marriage like God would have me to, because I just didn't know. And even when I did know, forgive me for being disobedient to you. So we got to be willing to forgive ourselves as well. And so I love how baby said, get that support. Come to a marriage retreat, but you can go to thecoupleslounge.com, www.thecoupleslounge.com, and you can book a discovery session with us. We would love to support, because for me, I hate divorce. And however I can support in making sure that doesn't happen, or doing our part to at least give a couple a fighting chance, I want to do that. And I want to offer you all what it is that maybe we didn't get starting out, or the first 10 years of our marriage.
Also, I would like to add to that, if you're looking at it in this regards, maybe I didn't marry the right person. If you're not looking at it in that regards, maybe I just wasn't ready for marriage.
Yeah.
And you need individual coaching. My wife does offer that. But where can they go to book a discovery sessions just to get an individual session.
We're all on the same page.
Okay.
So if you go and look for couples, you can schedule an individual. And I'm gonna say postpone a divorce until y'all do y'all work.
Right.
Whether it's individually, whether it's collectively, postpone that and reframe. Your thoughts are things. So be mindful of what you're thinking about your spouse and even thinking about yourself. Because y'all are one. So if you're thinking it about them, you're really thinking it about you too.
Right.
And what I have seen where I can point the finger at mine and it really, really bothers me, I'm now at a place where I can say, okay, God, where in my life am I showing up like that? Because this is bothering me way too much.
Right.
So where is it showing up? And then I get to look at myself. I get to heal my stuff as well as still call him higher as well. So
you know what bothers me? And I think I've said this, but it just happened the other day, and I just couldn't do nothing but laugh. And I'm like, why does this really? I'm talking about. I get mad listening to you chew gum.
oh my God.
God, the way you smack it, chew gum, just like, oh my God, it just, oh my goodness, like you ain't got to chew it and pop it in the God. I cannot be around you if gum is in your mouth. I am honestly gonna get mad. I got to put on some headphones. I can't. I walked by and I heard you. It just bothered me. It did.
He really does get mad, y'all. He gets irritated.
If you see and listen, I just listen.
I'm just chewing gum.
And popping.
You don't want me chewing gum.
No,
what?
You're not just chewing gum. You popping and blowing and popping and I'm smacking and popping. Just chew gum silently. Golly. Then I see the gum sometimes be like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he be like,
golly, it bothers me. Woo. And then another thing about I hate when men. I don't know why men do this. When you see a brother in the interview or just sitting and they sitting like this, that looks so unheterosexual. That
that's
just
not true. That's a powerful set.
There's nothing powerful when you see men sit like this and yeah, really. What? Man, put your leg down, dog. What you doing, man? That bothers me. I don't like seeing brothers do that. That's so unmanly to me.
He's being judgmental
I
right
am
now.
being judgmental. Forgive me, Lord. That just don't look manly to me.
My gum smacking.
Yeah.
I'll be smacking. I'll be popping bubbles
Yes.
inside my mouth.
Godly.
So we thank you for tuning in.
I'm sorry, y'all.
To the Couples Lounge Show. We hope that you heard something that will inspire, encourage, uplift you, and possibly save your marriage. If you are on the brink of divorce, thinking about divorce, come back every week. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and tell somebody about the Couples Lounge.
Hit the subscribe button, man.
We back in the building, y'all. And we out.
Boom.